Hey champs, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a new method on how to get reviews for your Amazon product for your Amazon FBA 2020 or 2020 business. And even if you're not up and selling, you need to be aware of this new feature and the pros and cons of it. In fact, I have 5 different things I'm going to tell you about today surrounding this new feature and getting reviews. That's very important. The first thing is I'm going to show you how to do this process, and we're going to show you how to get these reviews. The second thing is I'm going to show you what the pros and the cons are. There's actually some bad things about this new process. So let's jump over to the computer and I'll show you right away. Okay, so Mary Ann in our Facebook group was actually the first person to find out about this new method a few days ago. If you're not in our Facebook group, you can join our free Amazon FBA Facebook group down below in the description, where we talk about Amazon FBA every day and you can ask questions on all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm on this orders page, and this is how you get to it. You go up here to the top and you click orders and you go to manage orders. If you don't see any orders there, on the top right you click view FBA orders, and then it'll show you all your Amazon FBA sales, your recent sales, okay? So click on one of those, and it has to be a sale that's not within the last 4 days is one of like the stipulations, but you'll figure that out if you click on it, okay? So I'm here in this order screen. I'm going to have to white out a bunch of stuff because, I can't show you the customer's name and, my product and all sorts of stuff like that. But the important thing here is that they have this new button over here called Request a Review, okay? So what you would do is you would go to all your orders and maybe like bring up 20 of these at a time, just open them all in a new window, a new tab, and the next page is going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is the next page. It's the request a review. After you click on that button, it says here, we don't require you to request reviews because our systems already do that at no cost to you. However, if you prefer to request a review for this order, please use this feature instead of asking the customer via email or buyer-seller messaging. And that's going to be important because we're going to get to that here in a second. And it says, when you use this feature, we will send the customer an email requesting product and seller reviews for this order. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. I'm going to show you what the actual email they send looks like. And we automatically translate the review request to the customer's preferred language. Are you sure you want to request a review for this order? And you can click yes here, and then it'll say, thank you, we sent a request for this order. And I don't know about you guys, but I know this not to be true, that they don't send a request for a review for every single order. When I buy through my personal account, I'm just buying stuff on Amazon, or my wife's buying stuff on Amazon, we surely don't get an email from Amazon for every single order asking for a review. Let me know if you guys do. Occasionally, I will get one, through the buyer-seller messaging with someone using their email follow-up tool, but even that's pretty rare. So I definitely don't think this is true. They do have the Amazon Early Review program, but obviously you have to opt in that, and then they'll kind of ask for a review for that, and you have to pay for that. So I definitely don't think this part is true, that they're asking each buyer for a review. And I've talked to several people already that are utilizing this new feature, and they have seen a spike in their reviews. So that is how you actually do this. You can go in through each order and request a review after a few days of it processing, and you can go and do this for every single review, hundreds of reviews, okay? And you have to do it manually right now. I'll get to that here in a second also. So here is an example of the actual email it sends when you request a review here, okay? So it says, your opinion matter, and the seller requests you to share your experience for your recent order, and you can rate this item. So just in this example case, this was it was a baby item or something like that. So what they can do is they can rate this item here. So if you've noticed, there's a recent change that, like, if you look on your Amazon listing, it might say ratings instead of reviews now, because Amazon is going into this new thing where people can just basically leave a rating. They could leave a 4 or 5 star rating and not have to write a review. So they're kind of changing it to the word ratings instead of reviews. But you can see what they're doing here. So you can rate this item here. And it looks like in this example, they bought several items here. This is just an example that I grabbed from somebody else. And then also down here, you can rate your experience with the seller, which is seller feedback, okay? So this is a pretty good method. Okay, so the number 2 thing we want to talk about is why this is good and why this is bad. So this is good for those of you that don't have an email follow-up tool and you're not requesting an email through their email follow-up system, okay? And then we've seen how they mentioned that in the message before. I'm going to talk about that here in more in depth in a second, okay? But the good thing is if you don't have an email follow-up tool and you don't have any tools to request a review, you can just basically go in and manually do this and do this for 100 sales and maybe get 1 or 2 or 3 reviews, okay? Remember, you don't want to go over 5% reviews in the long run, and I'll talk about that here at the end and why you want to do that, okay? So you can just go in and request these reviews. The bad thing about this new email request tool is that Amazon might be getting rid of their email follow-up tool. And obviously, if they do, I'll let you know on this channel. Since you guys are subscribers and stuff, you'll know when it comes out. But we don't want them to get rid of the email follow-up tool because you can craft your message a very specific way and ask for a review in a very specific way. And your review rate is much higher and you can get higher reviews because you're asking in a very specific way, which makes people want to give you a 5-star review. If they get rid of that system, then the only way you're going to be able to request a review, at least in this method, is through their standard email. And they're just going to they're just going to rate the product whatever they think. You'll probably get a lot of 3-star reviews and stuff like that, where if you can ask it in a very specific way, you can get a 5-star review. So the bad thing is that if Amazon is going towards this only request a review through this special button, that that could be bad because you won't get as many reviews and you won't get as high of reviews as opposed to asking in a very specific way. Also, there's no automated way to do this yet. So if this becomes the main way to ask for reviews through this system, then hopefully they'll be able to automate it in the future. Okay, so the third thing that we need to talk about before we get too in-depth here so you don't get in over your head is that there's a new communications guidelines in Amazon's terms of service that they have recently updated, okay? So here it is. It says effective December 3rd, 2019, the communication guidelines will be simplified, blah, 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 blah. They'll be revised as follows. In general, you may contact a buyer who has purchased from you on Amazon only to complete an order or to respond to a customer service inquiry. Now, notice it says in general here, and then it's going to get into the details here. You may not contact buyers in any way for marketing or promotional purposes, including email, physical mail, telephone, or otherwise, okay? If you send a message to a buyer, your message may not include any of the following. You cannot do the important subject line, marketing or promotional message. You can't promote one of your other listings on Amazon or links or other stuff like that. But the important one here is that you cannot request more than one request for a product review or seller feedback. Okay, so notice that it says this is through messaging. You cannot request more than one request for a product or seller feedback. Okay, so as you guys know, if you've been watching this channel or if you've bought my course, sending email follow-up sequences is one of the best ways to get reviews, especially if you use my template, which I'm going to give you here in a second, because you can craft your message in a very specific way and it leads to very good reviews, okay? So I don't know if Amazon is going to get rid of the asking for a review through messaging, but right now it's kind of a gray area, but it's okay as of right now, okay? All the email tools, especially the Helium 10 email tool, they would stop it if it wasn't allowed, and it does say you can request one request through messaging for a product review. Tell me what you guys think about this. I know this is kind of confusing here. Amazon's terms of service is always confusing. Tell me if you think it's okay or not to kind of request a message through here, but follow-up tools are still a thing. I'm still sending email follow-up tool request emails every single day. All of my students are. I haven't really heard of people getting in trouble. The only thing I've heard of people getting in trouble for is they have links to other things, then request a review. So the fourth thing is I have a free email template for you, which you can send through buyer-seller messaging, or you can send it through your email follow-up tool, and it's automated. I recommend the Helium 10 email follow-up tool through their Platinum plan because it has all the tools you'll need in one, like product research, keyword tracking, the email follow-up tool and profits, which actually shows you how much you're profiting after all these different sales go through your account. I have a 50% discount link for you guys down below if you still need Helium 10 and don't have it yet. So if you want to get my email template, comment down below and ask me for the email template, and I will send it to each and every one of you completely free. It's a proven method that my students and my Facebook group users have been using for months, maybe even years at this point, and they're basically getting much higher review rate by using this specifically crafted email template. So comment down below if you want that. And that's a great way to get reviews. In my course, I go over all this stuff in much more detail and several different methods on how to get reviews, including a students-only secret method that is guaranteed to get you reviews. I have a link to my course down below. It includes mentorship from me. I will personally answer your questions along the way, and a students-only Facebook group. The number 5 thing we want to talk about is, as you can see, there's a whole lot of pros and cons and different things you need to do and not do when it comes to reviews. So I'm going to link down in the description a video that I have done previously that has over 10,000 views on 7 different ways to get reviews, and also like 10 different things not to do, and both of those are very important. So if you haven't watched that video, the link is down in the description for that below. I'm also going to link it over here for you, and also over here I'm going to link my free training. If you haven't taken that, make sure you do that. It's completely free. You'll be able to watch that. If you guys have any questions, ask me down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new so you don't miss out on new videos, and I will see you in the next video.